two hands up and forget. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with Rachel. Let me find you here, sister. There you are. Okay.
Hi.
Okay, so share your story and you can kick it off for us.
Great. Totally what I wanted to do. It's okay. You just love to do this. You did this with Rise too, but it's totally fine. I'm here for it. Guys, I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I love Cheyenne. I love Cortney. And I just think it's cool that we are combining this. So again, congratulations to everybody that earned it. On Mondays, we both do the same Zoom, but we only have diamonds and above. So there's a lot of people on our team that specifically earned a spot. So I'm just so excited. So just a little bit quickly about me. I'm celebrating. I just feel so annoyed. Annoying with how many times I'm posting all over social media that it's about to be 6 years, it's about to be 6 years, but I'm just feeling so overwhelmed this week and this month just with like the significance of 6 years. I give up on so much. I've given up on everything in my life, everything. And so I'm just so proud of myself that I've stuck it out this long. So it's almost been 6 years, and who I am today is not even, it's just, I did a complete 360 from who I was 6 years ago. So I just want to talk to the shy people, the insecure people, the people that are like, I don't know if I'll make it a year, let alone 6 years. I freaking understand. Everybody used to always say like, give it a year, give it a year. And definitely, if you just stick it out, you will be you'll be someone different in 6 years from now. So anyways, that was just a really great introductory for myself. But I was in college. I was a young mom on government assistance, full-time waitress, and it just wasn't cutting it. And I wasn't looking for this because I had tried a network marketing company in the past and it sucked. I sucked. And so I had the mindset, kind of like an ignorant mindset of like, all companies are the same. If I can't do good at one, then I'm the issue, right? So I wasn't looking for this, but it was on my newsfeed. Only one person was posting about it, and all she was posting about was the wrap. I bought one with my birthday money. I loved it so much, but I did not have the money to become a customer. Somehow I found the $100 the same day to join her team because she told me enough to where I was like, surely I could make a couple $100 a month. So I went diamond in 3 months. I don't even need to really tell my story because you guys all know what that's like, right? Or some of you guys are pushing for it, but a lot of people on here know what it's like to do the diamond thing. And so that comma in our paycheck really was the game changer, not just for me, but because that was what got Zach on board. That was where he was like, wait, the money's actually freaking real. And you guys, I know this sounds so cliche that like everyone that has a husband in the business always says like, it's the comma, and it's really, it's what it is. It's like money talks. And so having him on board, going from like that skeptical typical guy to like 100% being all in and supporting me and letting me do the dang thing is what transformed our business. And so 5 months in, we quit our jobs, and we were 22 years old and just doing it. We were just doing it. So the rest is history. 5 months in was really when it was, so that diamond paycheck was awesome, and then quitting our jobs. And then from there, we just built. We built through the plateaus. We built through it all. We've had life hit. We had life hit really, really hard after we went triple diamond 15 months in. We were borderline divorced. I was pregnant and not enjoying it at all. And everything felt like it was crashing around me. And I actually lost rank twice. And instead of quitting, I just started all over and I did it. And so in 2017, I went from diamond to presidential in 4 months, and we gave ourselves a $17,000 raise. And since 2017, I feel like I've had the most significant growth because I came back from that storm, right? And so many times we fall down and we lose rank, and it's like, it's sometimes some of you guys have had it even harder than I had it. But you know, for me, it hurt bad losing triple and losing double. And so we went from making $13,000 a month to $3,000. And I know that there are some people on here that are like, I would like $3,000 a month, but no one taught us how to save our money. We were just spending. And so we were living in a mindset of high 5 figures. And so when you drastically go from high 5 figures to low 4 figures, we were shook. And so I'm just glad that I didn't quit, and I'm glad that I started over and I improved. And I know I'm not the only one in the company that's done this, but now I feel like the reason why my business has like blossomed since 2017 is because I now know what it's like to have it all and then to lose it all. And so now I can walk people out of it. So if you guys are on here and you're like, I have lost rank and it's been embarrassing, or I feel like a fraud, or whatever, we all have those ill feelings about losing rank. use it as a part of your story. I used to be so embarrassed, but you guys can talk people out of it. You're more relatable knowing that you can fall down, but the best thing about this business is you can get back up and you're not penalized for that. And so it took 2 years from Prez to go from Prez to ambassador. And I went ambassador last April. And it's just been great, you guys. And I just shared this on a Zoom last night, so I'm sorry if you heard it, but this is what's crazy. If you guys just stay the course and you just believe in it, even when times are hard, you will have those promotions that just so beautifully happen. And out of diamond, double, triple, Prez, and ambassador was the most beautiful, calmest promotion I had ever had. And it's wild because in the beginning of the month, it's like I wasn't set up for it and I didn't even know how it was going to happen, but I was like, this is the freaking month, I'm going to do it and it's going to be scary. And it wasn't like I had that confidence in the beginning. I just made the decision. And literally, I think it was on the 26th or the 27th, we did it. I was getting a pedicure. We talked about it on Tiffany's Zoom last night. I was getting a pedicure. She was like, I feel like I should be at your house doing it. And I'm like, it's just happening. We just worked so hard. We painted the picture. We did it as a team and we freaking did it. And now we're just doing it all over again. Okay, so that was my short story. Do you want me just to dive into my notes?
I was just letting you, I feel like you were talking to me, so I was just going to let you keep talking.
I was, just one-on-one conversation.
But yeah, you can just dive right into what you were going to talk about.
Okay, you guys, I don't want to like selfishly take too much of this, but here's the deal. On our Diamond Zooms, we kind of do different things. Sometimes I feel like people need to hear me dive into a book, or other times it's just like an open forum. We do random things. Right now we're in a season where it's like we are diving into like the word of leadership. And so I did challenge my team, and I would love to challenge you guys too. The 4 books that I've heard over and over again on the triple and above page, and everything having to do with leadership. If you're like a newer leader, you should by Developing the Leader Within You by John Maxwell. Actually, he quoted it in here, and I'm going to say something that shook me to the core tonight, but there's now a 2.0. It's Developing the Leader Within You 2.0 by John Maxwell. If you're like a brand new leader and you're new in your leadership, buy that book. It was so freaking awesome. I read it, I think 2 years ago, and it was so good. Okay, for you people that are seasoned and you're like, I'm a diamond going double or double going triple, or I've been around the block, I would recommend you either do Leaderships by John Maxwell, Multipliers by Liz something, or High Performance Habits. Those are the 3 books, and they're massive. These are big honkers. So I just challenged our team like a couple weeks ago to do it as leaders, because you guys, when you dive into a book, these are books that aren't for pleasure. These aren't books where I'm just like sitting on a raft in my pool reading it and I'm enjoying it. These are books where like I was just outside, no one could come outside, my phone is on airplane mode, I have notes, and I was like reading, and I'm like, I need to learn, and I'm hungry to learn. And the reason why this is so important as leaders, you guys, is because you guys, you improve yourself. When you improve yourself, you improve everything else. And I don't know what it was. I think it was chapter 2 or chapter 1. I just finished chapter 3, and they're very big chapters. But they said leadership, you cannot have success, especially long-term success, if you do not master leadership, you guys. So you have to always be evolving. And leadership is all about making those shifts as leaders. And so each chapter is about a shift. This is a shift that will make you better. This is another shift that will. And this one was all about going from the mindset of having goals to growing. So instead of just, because we want those goals because sometimes they're short term, and we have short term, and we have that satisfaction of, I got a goal of going diamond, cool, I crossed it off, and we're like so goal oriented. But if we change it from crossing off those goals to I'm just going to grow, you'll realize there's such a significant difference. So I have notes, and sometimes they don't mesh all together. I'm going to do the best I can, but this was a really good chapter. So I wanted to start off by giving you that challenge. Dive into one, even if you're not a reader. I actually am not a listener. I don't do podcasts. I don't do videos. I can't. I don't know what it is. So I love reading, and I make sure I take it really serious. So whatever you like to do, do it, but I'm challenging you to do that. Okay, so I loved it. They said improving yourself is the first step, and then in improving everything else. So I love this because he talked about John Maxwell. He's older. I don't know how old he is, and maybe 65 or 75. And so he obviously has gone through life. And I love that he dives into it in his books. He tears it apart, and he talks about his failures. He talks about his successes. And he was talking about an example of seeing fast growing churches. And he compared it to one of like the fastest growing church. And I don't know what year this was in, but he saw it and he wanted to open up his own church, something like that. I might have it completely wrong. What I understood was he wanted to open up, start his own church. And he saw this fast growing church and he was like, why can't I? Like, why not me? Why can't we have the fastest growing church? And I was reading these, and I'm reading this like he was younger when he said this. I think he was in his 20s, and I automatically correlate everything people say into like it works. And I'm like thinking of it, and I'm like thinking about challenging you guys in the sense of, instead of looking at those teams that are so seasoned, and maybe they have 500,000 in volume, or you know, the teams that are up there, and you look at them and you sometimes, I think we get so defeated in the sense of like, well, I only have 20 distributors and they have 600 and my volume isn't as good and they went ambassador in 2 days, I'm going in 2 years. And it's just like, what if instead of getting defeated, we looked at the fast growing teams and it works, and we looked at ourselves and we're like, why not me? Don't I have everything that that person does? Like, what about us? Like, what if we did that and you guys put your head down and you made it happen instead of getting so jealous and so ugly? We get so yucky when we compare ourselves. It's wild. It's wild. I do it to some of my favorite people in the business, and I'll find myself being like it's just a crappy day because she enrolled 15 distributors and I can't even enroll one. And it's wild how we don't get excited for them. We pick ourselves apart. So anyways, I wanted to start off with that. And then what he said is within that year, you guys, he had one of the fastest growing churches. From the minute he said, I'm going to do it, he did it. And he said, it ended up being, he said it wasn't necessarily his end goal of like that satisfaction of, I now have one of the fastest growing churches. It was what he learned on the way. And so he compared it to like with businesses and network marketing. He's like, so many times we have that end goal, but if it's something so significant and so scary and you pull it off, it's not a matter of, oh, I went ambassador, check. It's, this is what I learned on that hard freaking journey to that. And it's all of the lessons. And so that's where it goes from goal, hitting ambassador, to growing on that journey to it. The growing is more significant than the goal. And I love that he said that. Okay. He made the shifts from self-development goals to growth. Goals will help you do better. Goals will help you do better, but growth will help you become better. Freaking love that one. Okay, as you hit these significant goals, people will ask, okay, this is so good and so relevant to our business. As we are hitting our significant goals as leaders creeping up in the company, people are gonna ask you how you did it. And this is where that growth comes in, because you succeed and you do the crazy things. Maybe you got 15 hosts posts up and you sign 50 customers in a day. Maybe you're at 60 customers for the month. You guys, this is where it's so important to share that. Don't keep it in. If you guys are, growing your leadership, especially you quiet people, there is a lot of quiet people on here. I'm sure on Cheyenne's team too, but I'm specifically looking at my team. You know, sometimes we see something that's working, or we feel like, again, we're looking left and right and we feel like it's not significant and we're quiet. The louder you are in teaching others to do it, that's where the duplication comes in. And so I love it. As you hit those significant goals, people will ask you how. And that is where your teaching and duplication comes in. And that's where you're kind of tested on how you're going to surpass that next level. Okay, growth on the inside will fuel your growth on the outside. It is impossible. This was so good. It is impossible as leaders, you guys, to grow in multiple aspects at the same time. Like, you cannot be good at all of the things. So instead of trying to juggle all the things, what if we put our focus on one thing, right? And so he talked about the 3 main things that he put his focus in at different times. The first, I know I'm talking fast, but I just really, really want to hear Sheyenne and Cortney. Okay, so number 1, studying successful people. That was his first thing. He was not intimidated by them. He was not jealous of them. He studied and picked apart successful people. Okay, number 2, developing strong relationships, you guys. Your relationships are what will make or break you with your leadership. You want to be trusted. You want to be loved. It doesn't matter if you're yellow. It doesn't matter if you're red. You guys have to have that heart for people. As a leader, you guys, your teams are growing. And you guys, yes, there are certain situations where you could be the worst leader in the world and someone's just a gem, like a unicorn, and they surpass you and they don't need you. That's rare though. The most important thing is that in order to grow as a whole, you guys, you have got to have that heart, and you have to develop those relationships and understand them. Whatever that saying is, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Accurate to a T. Okay, spirit. Oh, he also said this, and I didn't look it up, but I wrote it down just in case anyone's like me, where someone name drops a book and you go buy it right away. He said that Spiritual Leadership by J. Oswald Sanders was the turning point in him understanding how to develop strong relationships. He said, Spiritual Leadership by J. Oswald Sanders. Okay, number 3. That is our pizza, Cheyenne. 2 freaking hours ago, I told her my pizza wasn't here. The doorbell just rang. Okay. Number 3, leadership failure. This is everything. And you guys, I take pride in this. And if I could teach you, if you could take one thing from my little segment, it's take pride in your failures. Do not keep them a secret, you guys. Talk about them. Talk about the mistakes you made. Talk about learning them. The only difference is I make sure I talk about them when I overcame them, okay? So if I tried host post all last week and it sucked, I'm going to talk about it the next week. Or if I bulldoze someone on my team, whatever, or if it's a hard time and it works, I'm not talking about it and like wallowing around while it's happening. I'm talking about, here's the crappy thing that happened. Here's how I got out of it. Because so quickly, you guys, we know how to do it. When something's going on, we love to just like wallow in it. I love to be sad. It's the most weirdest thing. I love to cry. I love to just feel bad for myself. It's my nature. It's bizarre. And so if I don't talk about it when I'm going through it, but I talk about it after, that's that motivation to talk about it after. And I hope that I can lead others away from it or show people that when they go through it, they're not alone. Okay. So leadership failure is everything. And he said that one of his biggest failures in the beginning of his business, or like he's not in a business, but you know what I mean, his stuff. Okay. He realized that he had not equipped a single person to carry on without him. That is freaking gold. He realized that he had not equipped a single person to carry on without him. You guys, so many times, especially new leaders, we got our hands in every freaking cookie jar and we're controlling without wanting to be. We're on a pedestal without realizing it. And we want to be in control of it all. And then before you know it, you're trying to take your day of Sabbath, or maybe something happens in your family and you need to take 3 days off and you're wondering why your business completely went to freaking SHIT. You're like, why can't they carry on without me? Well, a lot of times we're laying that foundation down without even realizing it. Again, it's wild. You're not intentionally doing it, but it happens. Okay, I'm going to speed through this because I'm kind of taking a lot of time. Relationships. Okay, if you want to be better as a leader, grow in all 4 of these. Relationships, equipping, attitude, and leadership. Okay, I want to read this page to you guys real quick. So stinking good. Okay, so good. This like little segment was growth without a timeline versus growth without a finish line. As a young leader, I was focused on achieving goals. One of the questions I continually asked myself as I set a goal was, how long will this take? I'm naturally impatient, and I was often preoccupied by how long any given task would take. But as I shifted from goals to growth, my mindset changed. My thinking shifted into the bigger picture, and I became less impatient. As I made this shift, instead of worrying about how long something might take, I started asking, how far can I go? That's gold. Instead of thinking about what I was getting and how much I had to pay to get it, I started thinking about who I was becoming and the impact I could make because of it. I recognized that I was on a growth journey, and I started to fall in love with personal development. What's more, oh, here he is. He's 71, if you care. What's more is that at 71, I'm still in love with it, you guys. How freaking cool is it? There's no lid on self-development, you guys. I'm just in this weird season where I'm just like, are going to change. You guys, don't be behind on the times. Be the one that dives into the uncertainty because you want to get on the other side. You know, I kind of think about it in TikTok, in the sense of TikTok. Everyone was preaching about TikTok, and I was like, I hated it. And I even told our leadership, I was like, please, for the love of God, don't download it. We need to stay focused. And then everyone was doing it. And I'm like, shoot, what if I'm sabotaging my team in the sense of like not letting them do this? And it's something that rocks our world, and we miss out on that wave, right? So I think that that's just an example. If you wanted to, like, maybe you guys all have something that you're preventing yourself from doing. Okay. Oh, this one too. Continually changing when we don't feel like it. This is what leadership's all about. Continually changing when we don't feel like it, because it's going to lead us to the life we don't want. Okay. And number 2, part of that, the lessons, adopting a teachable spirit. Guys, this is everything. You have got to learn how to teach people. And this is the thing, is if it's not something that's natural, that's okay. It's a skill and you can learn it. Okay, I want to read this real quick. I'm almost done, I swear. Growth begins with having a teachable spirit. What does that entail? It means having a passion to learn, possessing the intention to learn every single day, and reflecting on what you learn so that you know how to apply it. That is important. It's a little bit like gardening. A garden doesn't spring to life on its own. It requires planning, hard work, and the right environment. Oh, it's so good. A gardener must do the work, prepare the soil, plant the seeds, water the plants, then feed, mulch, and weed. It's an intentional process. It must occur every single day. I love analogies. I love them. Okay, I'm just going to run through the rest of these. Pass what you learn on to others. Be hungry and learn. Remain teachable always. Make your love for your team greater than your fear of failure. If you guys transition your love for your like the fear of failure into the love for your team, failing isn't going to make you stop working your business. You know, I know that sounds like common sense to some of us that have been around the block, but some of you guys are so scared to learn a new technique, to lead your team on a Zoom because you're scared. You don't know what to say. You might mess up. You might screw it up, right? And if you guys just instead flip that fear into, I love my team so much, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help them be successful, you'll realize that along that journey, you're going to mess up. Along that journey, you're going to say the wrong thing and you're going to be mean. We're human. You're going to lead them down the wrong path unintentionally because you gave them the wrong wording. It's just going to happen. But if you guys don't ever dive into that, you don't have the opportunity to make those mistakes. And I know so many of us are like, I don't want to make mistakes, but mistakes are where we learn, okay? So I love that. And then I have one more example. Oh, cool. This is an example too. Sorry, I'm oh gosh, I'm so weird. Okay, so he was talking about one of his speaking engagements, and he said he was he was the least qualified speaker in the lineup, and he was freaking out because he's like, I'm not as good as all of them. I don't have enough knowledge, kind of how I felt like before the Zoom. But he said, I don't feel qualified to be speaking here. I told him, he was telling his friend, I think that I was hoping for reassurance. Instead, his reply startled me. You're not. Speak afraid, be willing to do it afraid, and eventually you'll become qualified. I freaking love that. He said, I don't feel qualified speaking here. You're not. Speak afraid, be willing to do it afraid, and eventually you'll become qualified. I just want to say that to everybody that isn't stepping up, everybody that's scared to go live on the team page to offer your tips, everyone that's scared to do that one-on-one with that red personality that freaks you out. You know, I just hope that shook you as much as it shook me. Okay, action reduces the fear and increases courage. And then number 4 was developing relationships with other growing people. You guys, stay close to the fire. He said that motto, he said that in this book like 3 times. I thought it was so cool because that's all we preach with It Works. Stay close to the fire, you guys. I encourage you to level up. I'm not saying to drop your people, but I want you guys to really reevaluate your circle. I want you to think about the people in your circle. Sometimes we stick to our comfort zones, and I'm telling you, some of I do have friends like even outside of It Works that they're like my friends that I know will never join, and like they were in my wedding and it's great, but sometimes I'm like, I can't talk to them for a couple weeks. Like we aren't on the same level. I'm not ditching them out of my life. I love them, but like you also have to reevaluate who you're surrounding yourselves around, okay? And then be honest about your weaknesses to your team. You must see the value in yourself in order to add value to yourself. If you guys see yourself as not, like I'm not SHIT, you're going to treat your team like you're not that, like they're not that, okay? So how we feel about ourselves is how we will teach others, because it's what is exploding out of our, does that make sense? I don't know how it makes sense in my head, but you get it. Okay, and then the last thing is he said that one of his best books was the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. So I've never read that. I don't know if anyone on here but John Maxwell is just so wise and I love it. And then this was the last thing, was he said, that book that I talked about, that Developing a Leader Within You, that was so good. I don't know when he wrote it, but he said that on the 25th anniversary of that, he was encouraged by his publisher maybe to rewrite a few parts. They were like, you know what, this is one of your best books, yada, yada, yada. It's 25-year anniversary. What if you like rewrote it in a sense of where you're at now? He said that his goal, like he was challenged to change 15% of the book. By the time he did 2.0, he had changed 85% of the book unintentionally because of how much growth he has done throughout the years. That was freaking so encouraging to me. Just because he's made it, he's a billionaire, bajillionaire, whatever the heck millionaire, he's made it, you guys. We've made it. Technically, we could all say on here, we've made it. We're leaders, great. You could stop working, but if you guys keep growing to that next level, you guys, it'll reward you forever. That is all I got. I'm so sorry. That was a long time.
I don't think she took a single breath, but I don't think any of us missed a single thing because we were this close to the screen. That was amazing, and I really hope that every single one of you are taking notes, because I can tell you, that if you're not writing it down, you're not remembering it. You're going to get off the Zoom and the hype is going to fade. But if you have the knowledge and keep this in your head, it will not go away. So I don't think Cortney talks that fast, but I'm going to unmute you now for you to share all of your tips and your story with us.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, cool. First off, you're gonna make me go after that. Like, seriously, Rachel, it was so good. You always just speak so much freaking life. I can't. But everything she said, you guys, there were so many things that I could just relate to so much. And one of those things, which I'll share my story here in just a second, but one of those things that she said is, you know, even though you don't feel qualified, do it anyways. And I think when she said that, it was like this light bulb in my head, you guys, because we're all our own biggest critics every single time. We all get in our own head so bad. And just before the Zoom, and like right now, like I'm nervous too. And it's just like, why? You know, because we all have something so special that we get to bring to the table and share with you guys. And we should be so proud of that. But I just want you to know that if you're on here and you ever question yourself, your worth, or if you are qualified or whatever the heck it is that you are, and that we're all here for a freaking reason. So that's what I just want to start with, is that we're here for a reason. God put you here right now. And so, yeah, but okay, so story time. I'll kind of make it short because I've been doing this 6 years actually this month as well, which is crazy. I didn't realize that Rachel and I started like literally like right around the same time. But you guys, I started when I was just a baby. Literally, I was 19 years old. I was living with my parents still. I was basically just living the broke college student life, trying to figure out what the heck I actually wanted to do with my life. My goal was always to be into like the health field. I've always known like I just wanted to help people. That's always been like what I've been passionate about. And so I was going to school for nursing. And I don't know if any of you guys are nurses on here or familiar with it, but to get into the nursing program, you have to pass what's called the TEAS test. And I was taking this dang test, and I took it 3 different times, failing every single time. And I just remember feeling so down on myself, you know, like, why God, like the thing that I feel that I'm meant to do in my life. Like I felt dumb. I felt, you know, I was just questioning myself, and I just was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, where do I go from here? And so if you are on here and you're just like, ever been in a position where you're like, what do I do? Am I on the right path? I think that's totally normal. But so basically what's crazy though, is I look back, you guys, and I realize that during that time is literally when I joined this business, with no intentions of it going anywhere, because I had no idea what the actual heck I was doing. But I joined, and I always think back now, I'm like, what if I would have gotten into the program? Like, you know, I feel like I wouldn't have probably put my focus here, where this has just taken me so much further than I can ever even imagine. So just know, if you're on here, you are at the right place at the right time. So anyways, I was living with my parents, and I was basically just living a broke college student life. I really wanted to move out of their house. I just couldn't afford to. So I was going to a community college, working 2 jobs, had a super busy schedule, and I found Ashley Mirth on Instagram. That's my ambassador leader. And I watched her for weeks, and I finally joined, and I was like, okay, I have no idea what this is. Never heard of network marketing. Didn't know you could even make legit money with it. All I knew is that if I can make like an extra couple $100, that would be great. So jumped in head first, no idea what I was doing. My first month, I made like $29, and I remember being so excited. Okay, I was so freaking excited over $29, because I was like, if I can make $29 and I just keep going, I can make more than that. And so I was just really excited from the get-go. And I think having that mindset going into it really helped a lot, just because I never set myself for failure. I never set myself up for a timeline or anything. I was just willing to just work at it every single day. So I joined, $29 my first month. My second month, all of the people I was talking to my first month started to come back and enroll with me. And then my third month is when I went Emerald, and then I was working towards Diamond. And around then, I got the courage to apply to a school here in Columbia at the University of Missouri, because I decided against nursing, and I was just going to go to the university here. So I signed a lease, and I remember being so nervous because I was not in a position where I could afford it. My parents weren't happy with me because they weren't going to pay my bills. But I was like, you know what? I'm doing this. So I quit the 2 jobs I had, moved to Columbia, got a job for 2 days at Applebee's, and I freaking hated it. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I am going Diamond. And so I quit that job, and that was kind of like that first like light bulb for me, like, okay, you know, it's not a choice at this point. You got to run for it. So I went Diamond. I got the $10,000 bonus, which was just crazy. And then I just kept going, you guys. And if I can share anything with you guys, it's to just keep going. You are going to have life happen. You are going to have things that try to get in the way. You're going to have roadblocks along the way. But if you just keep going anyways, and you just keep showing up regardless when you feel like it or not, you are going to get people, and you're going to grow your business. And so that's basically what I did. So after I went Diamond, the new year came. So it was like around this time of the year, and I had it triple promoted. I promoted really quickly. I went Diamond, and then I went to Presidential, my 1 year mark. A 2-year mark, I went ambassador. And basically, this business has allowed us to do all the things, you guys. Pay off debt, get through school, all those things, which have been so life-changing, obviously. And now that we're 6 years in, hit ambassador on our 2.0 account, which has just been crazy. But I just want you guys to know that that was not, if you're ever looking from the outside in, don't compare yourself to anyone, you guys, because we've all been through so much. This business is not easy. I have lost rank many times. You know, I've had leaders quit. People that I never expected to fall off the face of the earth have done that in this business, and it was really freaking hard. But what I do, I didn't ever let that stop me. And I see so many leaders hit a certain rank and it's like they almost just get stuck. Like they hit this stopping point because they just feel like, you know, all these people are leaving me and they just don't understand and they can't wrap their mind around it. And so instead they let that affect their success. And if I can tell you guys anything, is to just keep going. Don't let other people determine where you're going in your business. Don't let other people get in the way, because there are people who are praying for this opportunity. And if you're not sharing it with them, you are absolutely selfish, because we have something so incredible on our hands. And especially right now in the world, like people need what we have, you guys. And so that's what I kept doing. And I learned so much. And if I can tell you, like between my 1.0 and my 2.0 account, as I was focusing on my 2.0 account, I learned so much. And I think that's something good to take in, is that this is such a learning process. If you are on here and you feel like you weren't a born leader, you joined this and leading was very scary, drop a 1, because I am a person that I have never wanted to like lead something, or I never wanted to just automatically take control or guide the group. That's never been me. In school, that was never me. I would much rather, you know, let someone else do it that I feel is more qualified. And I think that was definitely a big confidence thing. But now I've learned that I loved it, or I love it so much. And it's definitely taken so much growth and time and learning and getting on things like these and reading books and doing the self-development and doing the things that these leaders are saying to do, because that's what's going to really, really help. So if you feel that way, it's completely normal. It doesn't mean that you can't be successful or get to that next rank that you want to get to, or that next level of success that you want to get to. But it is going to take your mind, because your success is you're going to grow only as far as your mind's going to allow you to. So if you're not constantly pouring in yourself, then how are you supposed to pour into others? And that's something that's so freaking real, because I will tell you, if there's ever a time where I feel like it's always like all at once, when your team is like freaking out on you and they all start messaging you at once and it's like so much stress. If you're not filling up your own cup and that's happening, that is so stressful. And that is the time where I'm like, Cortney, what have you been doing? When's the last time you read that book? When's the last time you got on a leadership Zoom? When's the last time you poured in yourself? And I know it's because it's of me. I don't ever blame anyone else. And something else I want you to know is stop playing the blame game, you guys. You are a leader. You are on this Zoom because you are a leader. And I think it's so easy to look left and look right and look at our leaders or our uplines and blame someone else. And don't ever do that, because you are in this position for a reason, because God has you here for a reason. Step up, be confident in what you have, and go lead your people. Be the person that you look up to. And that's what I always think of, is who's that person that I look up to? And even though maybe I don't feel like I'm in the best position to lead these people, I'm going to go learn from them and figure out how I can be in that position, how I can be the best leader that I can, how I can be to pour into these people. So that's something good to know, that, you know, you just have to keep growing yourself and know that, you know, you're only going to grow as much as your mind is going to. But I did write down a few tips of things that I personally feel like I do, or I guess per se can like bring to the table as far as like leadership, because I love, like, each of us have our own things that we're just really, really good at. And I think personally for me, or here, I'll just kind of go down through the list and share each one. But the number one thing is just leading from the front, you guys. And it sounds so simple, but it's so important, because if you're not doing the things, how are you going to expect your team to ever do the things? So I'm never preaching and not doing the things. I'm never telling someone to go try something that I'm not already doing. So just making sure you're leading from the front and doing the things and setting the example for your team. The next one is I'm always enrolling. I never stopped enrolling just to go and dive into my team or lead my team, you guys. I am always enrolling people and bringing the new people in, because I know that that's so important for your business. And if you feel like you're at a stuck point and you feel like you're like trying to like lead into all of these people that aren't doing anything and they're not giving you anything back, it's because you can't revive the freaking dead, you guys. You cannot revive the dead. So go find new people. Go find new blood. Go find new excited people, and the excitement that's going to bring back to your business is literally everything. The next thing is I love on people, and I think this is so important, you guys. I love on people hard, and I will never forget, even just like the most simple thing. I will never forget when Ashley Mirth welcomed me to the team page, and I had all of these girls welcoming me. I thought that was so special. I was like, wow, these people are so nice. Like, you know, like I've joined a community, and so many people are here in this business for a community, you guys. And so her just welcoming me made me feel so special. And I was like, okay, maybe this is something that, you know, maybe this is something that's going to be good. There's nice people, like, we'll just see where it goes. And then something else is I just make people feel so special. I make them feel as special as they are, because when we join this, we're nervous, we're scared. So the best way that you can kind of go and to build your leaders is put that confidence into them, because a lot of times we don't have the confidence when we start. We're all nervous. We don't know what the hell we're doing. But when you have someone else telling you and pouring into you and saying, hey, I believe in you, that little seed of belief can turn into something so large. I will never forget when Ashley, my enroller, she's like, all right, this month, Cortney, you're going diamonds. And I was like, how in the actual hell am I going diamond? Like, that's nothing I ever even envisioned for myself. Like, what are you talking about? But since Ashley told me I was going diamond, you guys, I went diamond, because she believed in me. Even though I had no idea where it was going to come from, how it was going to happen, knew none of that. It's just her saying that and her having that belief that I could do that, and her seeing that within myself, gave me everything and the confidence that I needed to push to make it happen. So be that person for your people. It could be as simple as sending them a message and just be like, you're doing it this month. Like, let's go. Like, don't stop. Don't let it get in the way, because we all have roadblocks, and our minds are literally everything, you guys. I always say this business is like 90% mindset and 10% work, because if your mind is not in a good place, and a lot of us join this business not having a mind that's in a place for this business. So if you're not growing it and you're stuck, that is freaking why. It's because you haven't been growing it. It's because you've been in the same position. It's because you're looking back at everything that has happened and not looking forward to what can happen. So make sure that you're pouring that belief into them, giving them that love and that extra support they need, and just give them that little bit of faith. And we always say, you know, if you don't have any confidence, borrow ours. Or if you don't have the belief, borrow ours until you can get your own. So make sure just, you know, loving on people. And something else I like to do is I make a huge deal out of everything. So especially when I'm getting my new distributors and I see that potential, because you just know that feeling when you get someone and you're like, gosh, they're just going to be incredible. Like, we all know how that feels. And when they join, I make sure that I'm just like letting them know how incredible I think they are constantly. And everything they're doing, I'm making such a huge deal out of. I'm going on the team page. My team page is full of shout outs all day, every day, because I know a lot of our team just does that all day long. And I love that, because Cammie always says, you know, people will do like anything for recognition. Just being recognized is so important and huge to people. So it's as simple as posting on the page and shouting them out. So that's something you can be doing daily to your leaders, sending them a message saying that you're thankful for them. I know that Shay does that, you know, randomly here and there too. She'll just message me and just be like, thank you. And that literally makes my freaking entire day, you guys. So just letting them know it's literally the small things that can add up to something so, so big. And then the next one is casting the vision. So I think a lot of times, like I said, diamond was never anything I expected. I didn't, I wanted $200 when I started this business, you guys. So obviously, as I kept going, I just have to keep casting that vision. And sometimes people aren't good at that, because a lot of times when we're raised, we're not being told, what's your next goal? What are you going for? That's not how a lot of us were taught. We're taught you go get the job and you do the thing and you pay your bills. Okay? And so a lot of people don't know how to dream and go bigger. And if you're not constantly going bigger and dreaming, then you're going to get stuck, because you have to keep wanting more. Because if you have to wake up in the morning and you're not wanting something, then why are you going to wake up and work your ass off? You're not. But the moment you figure out what you want, and you want it so bad, and I mean figure out what it is that makes you like can't even sleep at night because you're like, I am doing this. If you couldn't feed your kids, you would do whatever you had to feed your freaking kids. So go figure out what you got to do with this business to make you want it so freaking hardcore that you don't want to sleep at night, that you're excited. And if you're not excited, it's because you're probably not doing the simple things as far as enrolling to be excited. And something that I do is a goal, like a personal goal for myself, is I want to enroll at least one person a day, because when I'm enrolling people, I'm feeling good about my business. When I'm not enrolling people and I'm not doing the things, I don't feel good about my business. And I will be the first person to call myself out if I'm not doing the things. I don't look at Ashley and say, Ashley, you ain't been doing things, so I ain't doing things. Okay? I know if I'm not doing the things, and I'm honest with myself. So call yourself out, tell yourself what you have and have not been doing, and figure out what you have to do to grow forward. Fail forward, like Rachel was saying. I've always loved that. Fail forward, you guys. Maybe you don't know what the heck you're doing. Maybe you don't know where to go next. Maybe you're confused and you're lost and you're overwhelmed. Just keep going and figure it out along the way, one step in front of the other, you guys. and you just believe in yourself and just don't freaking give up. You're going to have things that stop you, but why not keep going? Because you can have more and you are worthy of more. You just have to believe that within yourself. And if you can't believe that within yourself, then how is anybody else going to? So set the example for your team. Keep going for more, you guys. Ambassador on 1.0, 2.0, that was never like a thing I envisioned, you guys. But the thing is that I just kept going, even though things were falling apart here and there, and things could have stopped me and gotten in my mind. I didn't let that get in the way, you guys. I just kept pushing regardless. So go do the things. Go write down where you want to go, because when you write it down, it's more willing to happen. Go get on the right track. Be excited. Start enrolling people. Do the things. Get on Zooms and stay connected with people, you guys. And that is when your leaders are going to come and they are going to go off of your momentum, because what you're putting out there is what your team is going to feed off of. Because it's crazy how when you're not feeling good and you're not enrolling people, how it literally like trickles down into your entire team. Have you ever noticed that? It's because you are setting that example and they follow that so hard. So anyways, that was super scatterbrained and all over the place. I don't even really know what came out of my mouth. The one last thing I wanted to say though, and I actually got this from the book that Shay actually recommended to me. It's called The Success Commandments. So good. Shay told me to get it and I was like, okay, so of course I did. And something they were talking about is they said anything you are praying for, you must prepare for. I'll read it again. Anything you are praying for, you must prepare for. So if you are praying for something to happen in your business and you're ready for the things to explode and your dreams to come to life, and you just started working so, you've been working at it, but you just haven't know, you have to make sure you're putting the work behind that, you guys, because God has to have something to bless, you know what I mean? And if you're just sitting there waiting for it to magically happen and fall in your lap, it's not going to. But when you show up every freaking day and he sees you putting in that work and he sees you talking to all the people and he sees you showing up when you don't want to, he's going to come and he's going to bless you because of that. So show up and let's do the things. Let's make April the best freaking month. It already is such a good month, you guys, but it's just up to you, and just know that. Not anyone else. It's you, and you are worthy and powerful, so let's do the damn thing. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, so the most yellow leader I know just turned red for the past 25 minutes. That was so good. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now I have to go after both of you. So that's fun. But guys, I didn't even know what I was going to speak about when we decided to do this Zoom. Like, me and Rachel had talked about it, and then me and Cortney had talked about it. Like, my chest feels like it's going to beat out of my chest right now. I didn't even say that right. Anybody else? My heart is beating so fast because I'm so fired up. But I was talking to Rachel and we game planned this, and I just sat there and kind of prayed about what I wanted to talk about tonight, because I really, really appreciate like our leader time that I have with my team, because it's the one time of the week that I get to start the week off with them. And in a time right now where we're all pushing and we're all so fired up, and so many of you earned this Zoom, and so many of you on this team are pushing for promotions right now between the three of us, and it's just like such a special time. And so I was just sitting here thinking back to, if y'all don't know my story, I joined the business 3 years ago. And I saw Cortney posting on Instagram about how she could make 5 figures a month. And I said, why can't I make 500 a month if she can make that? And I made that within my first 30 days. And the feeling I feel, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to get emotional probably because I cry a lot. So just expect that. But in the first 30 days of my business, when I was so amped up and so excited and just so on fire about this opportunity, because I found something that like I could control. Like, my life growing up was such a hot mess that this was finally something that I was like, I can work and I can make the money. I can figure out this promotion of whatever this box is supposed to look like and fill it with some people and figure it out, and I can promote. And the same feeling that I felt in my first 30 days of the business is the same feeling that I feel now. And I just got off of a Zoom. I did a Zoom for Jackie Deering's team, and she posted on YouTube. I can share it with y'all if you want, but like, I just felt like everything just coming out. And it's like, she asked me this question that I don't ever get asked on Zoom. And she said, if you could go back to when you first joined the business and tell yourself one thing, what would it be? And I was like, oh shoot, that's hard. And the first, like, instantly what came to my head was just wait. I wish that I would have told myself then, just wait, like, just wait. There's so much more coming. There's so much more coming for you. Because in those moments where I lost rank, and in those moments where people quit my team, and in those moments where I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me as to why I wasn't promoting, or I wasn't enrolling, or people were quitting that I thought were going to be with me forever, I wish I would have told myself, just wait. Because God had so much more for me and for my team and for the people that enrolled with me. I had no idea that it was coming. And so I was telling her about how, I promoted, and then I promoted again, and then I lost it, and I went through stuff with my family and then stuff with my life. And like, this has been the backbone of my life for the past 3 years. It's created the person that I am, the leader that I am, I'm a totally different person. Like, I don't even think I would recognize the person I was 3 years ago. And it's not only me that sees it, it's the people around me that see it. And I look at so many of you on this Zoom, and some of you, I'm a personable person, so I know pretty much every single person on this Zoom. And you're all changed. You're all so much different than the person that you were when you joined the business. And I can tell by the conversations I have with you and the way that you show up and the person that you are. And so a year ago today, I shouted out for the first time that I was going ambassador. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna cry, it's coming. I shouted out that I was going ambassador a year ago today. And I looked at my volume and I was like, yes, like this is it. Like this is the moment. I prayed for this. I was journaling. I was rallying the troops. Like my volume was increasing like insane. Our enrollments were insane. And so, oh my gosh, I found this when I was organizing my office today, because living in your house by yourself when you're trying to go ambassador is hard, because you should see my dishes and my laundry and all this stuff because my house is a wreck. But I found this. And this was the chart that I made a year ago this month when I was going ambassador the first time. And this is how close we got. And I remember folding this chart up the way that it's folded, and I put it in a binder in my office because I was like, well, you know, I missed it. My volume's going down. I'm not going to go ambassador. And so I folded that thing up and I put it in my closet. Sorry. And today I got that back out, because for the first time in a year, I get to go ambassador. And so for those of you that have shouted out a goal over and over and you've wanted to promote and you've missed it, or you're new here and you're just excited and you're like, why is this girl crying on Zoom? There's so much coming for you. And if I could tell you anything, it is to tell you to just wait and to do the things, because one of my doubles on my team messaged me the other day and she said, I don't know why when I start doing the things and I start working and I do this and I do that and God shows up for me, I'm shocked. And Cortney, it's you, you're on here, I know. And it's like, why am I shocked when God shows up for me when I'm meeting him halfway? So you have to meet him halfway. You have to pour in the things. You have to share this business. You have to do the things. And it's not always easy and it doesn't always look beautiful. And know what I'd like to be a presidential for a year and a half when I wanted to be ambassador this whole time? No. But the person that I was a year ago is not the person I am today. And it's not the person that's going to be ambassador as I even was a month ago. And so on the 16th of this month, when I made the decision that we were doing it this month, I got a call from one of my diamonds on here that's going double. Sam, it's you. She read me this part of a book. I don't know what the book is called. She can drop in the comments, but it says, open the book. You don't read it from front to back. You read it by what you need. And it says, dream delay. Hi, God. I'm really excited about the way things have been going. I heard your voice. I got the idea. The dream came alive and the doors started opening. I was so psyched. I was thinking things were going to pop any second, like any second, maybe now. Okay, maybe now. Because honestly, I thought it would be done by now, or even last month. This dream seems like it's on delay. I planted the seed. I'm believing in you. I wanted the seed in faith and prayer. What's happening? I wonder if Noah felt the same way when you told him to build the ark. I just lost my place. I wonder if Noah felt the same way when you told him to build the ark. What a world-rocking dream. I can't imagine how excited he was when he knew that the vision, this desire, and this call in his life to invent the first boat ever built was going to happen. And then, according to Jewish tradition, he planted the seeds to the trees that would grow and provide the wood he cut down to make the boat. Hold up. That's a decades-long dream delay. Wait for the trees to grow? I want to buy the pre-built dream. What did he do wrong? Was he being punished? Did Noah make you mad? No. The Bible doesn't say any of that. This was just a part of the process. Noah did all that you commanded, including being patient in the process and not getting discouraged while things developed. Maybe that's what I need to do. Instead of going on a witch hunt of what could possibly be wrong when things don't hum along as quickly and easily as I imagined they would, I just need you to trust your timing. I know that you're on my side. I know that you're working on things for me, whether I can see them or not. So why am I getting antsy? You're right on time, at the right time kind of God. If there's a delay, it's because you're working something out, growing big, strong trees, lining things up and making things better. You don't delay dreams. You prepare and you train me from the very onset of the dream seed so that I not only get the dream, but I get to keep the dream. Thank you, God, for helping me understand that a big harvest takes a while to grow. So I hope that you know that there is so much coming for you. so much coming for you. And so many times along your journey, you're going to want things to happen when you want them to happen too. But just imagine that graphic of the little girl with the teddy bear walking up to God, and he's taking it from her, and she doesn't see the bigger teddy bear behind him. There is so much coming. Have faith. Do the things that you know how to do. Do the things that you did to get on this Zoom, because you're a leader. You're an emerging leader. You're somebody that's going to one day lead an Ambassador Diamond team, and you have to believe that you have everything instilled in you already, but he's going to prepare you. He planted the seed within you and brought you this business, but you're going to go through things that are going to grow you, that you're going to become the person you want to be, that you're going to rise to the level and rise to the occasion of what it takes. I had a girl on a coaching call the other day, and she was like, I'm a Ruby now, but like, how am I going to lead an ambassador team one day? And I was like, girl, this is such an open-ended question, but you're going to grow so much to that point. So look at yourself, who you are now, and become the person that you want to be. And that's not going to be easy, and that's not going to be beautiful, and there's going to be a lot of up and downs, but the person that you're becoming is the person that you need to be to promote. And that may not be in the moment you want it to be, but it is coming. So this was the most fire Zoom I think I've ever been on, between Rachel going 90-0 and pouring into us, and Cortney just always bringing the fire. I hope that you got everything that you needed to get out of this Zoom, and that you just feel so ready to go because you earned this. And so I want you to go pour into your people, because the first step into leadership is not only getting to this point, but turning right back around and grabbing the hand of somebody else and pulling them right up to where you are. Because it's great to enjoy the view by yourself, but it is 10 times better to enjoy the view with other people. So I love y'all so much. I will put this recording up on my YouTube so that you can share this with people and share it with your team. I love y'all. I hope you have a super awesome night. Thanks for Court and Rach doing this with me, but I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.